Let's talk about learning to hit a proper draw. Okay, let's get our terminologies correct. When I strike this golf ball, I want my club face squared. However, I need to learn to put myself, my body, my squared stance, thighs, hips, and shoulders in a position that will allow me to hit the inside quadrant of the golf ball. Most of the golfing world will call this a closed stance. I don't want you to do that because I think that takes your mind off of what the truth is. It is a squared stance. Don't ever forget that. Thighs, hips, and shoulders. But now you take yourself and put yourself in a position where that club face, squared club face, is aiming for the inside quadrant of the golf ball. Now this will make it appear and or feel to you like your club face is shut. But again, that's a feeling, or it appears to be. It's not a reality. If that club face were shut, there's no way that you could hit the inside quadrant, getting the ball to start to the right, come back to the left. You just hit the outside and yank it left, and this is what you're probably doing if you listen to somebody say, to hit a draw, you just close your club face. To hit a draw, I must be in position which will allow my arms to come from inside the target line out to the ball. If my club face is not allowed to apparently look and or feel shut, then I will just knock the ball out to the right. Okay, so now we're talking sensations. So when I set into the golf ball, I'll put my club face down first, then I will take my body line and aim it slightly to the right because that creates more of an inside path. But at the same time, while you're doing that, don't let the face open. Just keep it where it was. I'll go one more time. I want to do that. I'll set my club face. Then I will turn my squared stance to the right to create an inside path. While I'm doing that, don't allow your club face to open to match where your body's going. Allow it to stay where it was. Now when I hit this golf ball, the target line is still straight. But my arm path is going to be coming from the inside out towards the ball. The club face will appear to feel and to look shut as it goes through up to my finish position, bringing the ball back. If I make the mistake of not allowing the toe to remain in its position, then I will leave the ball out to the right. Do not have any qualms with allowing the face to roll as much as you want, as long as you hit the right spot on the ball. Doing this, the ball will go out to the right, come back to the left. If you hit the outside of the golf ball, the ball will go to the left. So don't tell me the technique doesn't work. The technique works fine, but you do have to pay attention to exactly where on the ball you hit. But, you know, even if you don't practice a lot, take a few seconds to understand it. For the ball to take off to the right, you can't hit the direct back. And if you hit the outside, it's just going to go left. So you got to aim. So we can get our swing working correctly and hit the wrong part of the ball, and we get a bad shot. So let's get the swing working correctly, and then let's work our way into hitting the correct spot on the ball. That's a draw. This is a shot I really like the most because it's an aggressive shot. I feel more aggressive. It allows my weight pressure to get to my front foot a whole lot better, and I feel like I'm moving through the golf ball. Now let's talk about the fade. Now for a ball to fade, it has to be spinning left to right. A fade starts to the left of the target line and comes back onto the target line. For me to make this golf ball fade, or to start to the left of the target line, I have to hit the outside quadrant of the golf ball, which again means I have to take my squared stance and put myself in position so that I can do this. I am not going to call it an open stance, because once again I think that is inaccurate. It is a squared stance, turn to the left. The target line's right at you, but I'm going to take my square stance and turn it to the left because this creates an outside towards in swing path with my arms. Not to be confused with, you stand there and take it outside in. Totally different deal. With this ball here and this target line going right at you, I have to take my squared stance and aim it to the left, because that will allow me to swing my arms apparently outside the target line to inside the target line, getting the ball to start to the left. Again, my club face, when I put it down, my club face is square. My body line is left. I'm not going to open the face of my club, because if I open the face of my club and open my stance, I'm just going to hit these great big bananas, which you don't want to do. So again, terminology is extremely important. My club face is allowed to stay relatively square to the target line. I'll take my squared stance and move it to the left, which will give me an outside to inside swing path, which will have the ball start to the left. Okay, we've got it starting correctly. Now here's what you have to do in your mind. I want to then allow the heel of the golf club to gently lead the toe. So it's not rolling over or rolling like it did when I hit the draw. When I hit the draw, my arms are coming from the inside and I let the toe roll. When I hit a fade, my swing path, because of my square stance turn left, is more from the outside, going inside, and then I mustn't let the heel, or I must let the heel gently lead the toe as opposed to roll the toe. Because if I come from the outside and roll the toe, the ball is going to go left. So again, it never in golf is as simple as they want you to get it to be. There is the stance involved, and then there's club face control, and there's shaft control. For the draw, you need to put yourself in position to get the shaft to come from the inside, and then you must allow the toe to roll. Don't expect it to. You must allow it to. When I want to hit a fade, I have to put myself, squared stance, to the left to create the outside towards in swing, shaft going left on plane, and then I mustn't let the toe roll. I must allow the heel to gently lead. Well, let me tell you what I don't like about this shot. What I don't like about this shot is that it gets very addictive to start leaning on your back foot, and you don't get through the shot as much. It's a shot that you want to hit once in a while, but it wouldn't be what I recommend daily. And even if you love to fade a golf ball, I still think it's a great practice drill to stand on the practice tee and hit draws, because learning to hit the draw will keep the fade a fade. If you keep hitting fades, it's extremely normal into it to turn into something much, much larger than it is. So again, when I do this, I would recommend that you start off doing it with a 6-iron or 7-iron, and eventually it will work its way down. But the last club, like it or not, the last club it's going to work with is your driver. So be patient, because this is the way it's going to be. But start off with that 6 or 7-iron and start watching how the ball starts to the right, comes back to the left. Watch how it starts to the left, comes back to the right. And then, if you want it to go fairly straight, somewhere in the middle of those two is really good. Not a bad idea to practice, but then we'll talk about it a little bit later. I'll talk about in the questions the goods and the bads about both. Thank you.